All right, we are live. Welcome to Coach's Corner, a special Tuesday edition pre-Warlords of Draenor Coach's Corner. This segment is why I do the stream, why I love doing it. And for those of you that are new, Coach's Corner is sort of why I stream. I'm a guild leader of 10 years, been playing this game since Vanilla Beta, September 2004. Been in the same guild, leading the same guild since January 2005. We'll be celebrating our 10-year anniversary very soon, and something special for it, I'm sure. But this special stream is really to prepare you guys, you ignorant window-licking, keyboard-turning jackalopes that don't know. And it's okay not to know. It's totally okay. At least you're here to learn. You know, we all started off as noobs somewhere. The Zelda Core was like, I'm sorry, guys, I went to Nox before. I had no idea where to go. People are telling me, dailies reset. Well, they don't. And, it's misinformation out there, so, being perpetuated by multiple sources. In any case, we have our... What is this tweet here? We have our Coach's Corner here today. I'm going to cover Garrison's World of Draenor prep, leveling, the marathon leveling, making sure you guys are ready and you do it safely. And safely, you don't to burn yourselves out, have a heart attack, or whatever else. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it. This will be a good Coach's Corner. We won't have one on Sunday. And all this information that I have here, all the links for you guys, will be posted, number one, on our forums. Make sure you guys register there. And number two, on the blog. It'll all be there for you guys. It's a compilation of all those resources, all those pictures, where you need to go for whatever. And then you guys make the decision for yourselves which garrison you're going to be going with, all that other stuff. So yeah, we're going to talk about dailies, we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff, guys. If you do have questions at some point, like while we get to that topic, please do let me know. Let me know, it's a very interactive stream. For those of you that don't know, I answer lots of questions. It's not just here me playing games, what I'm doing, whatever, and staring at, destroyed poor Netherguard Keep. So it's very interactive. We're going to cover all those things. A lot of the questions you guys had for me last night, I made sure to write notes and answer all those things today. So we will be doing those things. Yeah, 24-hour leveling hype, yeah. So a quick little tangent before we get started. I thought it was the wrong day. I thought that World of Draenor started Thursday night into Friday, so I took Friday off. It's fine because I don't really work Thursdays anyway, but now I have an extra couple days of leveling and gearing up and that kind of stuff with you guys. So yeah, so we'll get started here. Let me get my notes here ready to go. Now, preparing for the launch here, and you guys sort of see me Netherguard Keep. I know my sort of chat is... I can't see much of my chat here, but yeah, I'll be answering questions as we go here. Just give me a sec. What is the Warlock robe? So this guide, this sort of Coach's Corner, is really dedicated more towards the average raider. Not the top-notch speed levelers, more so the average raider, which is you guys. And I obviously mean no disrespect there. We're all sort of average raiders, unless you're in friggin' Blood Legion, and even then, they'll be using some applicable things from this Coach's Corner, or the top guilds. It's more of a general overview for what you guys need to know, what you guys don't know, what questions you guys have about garrisons, professions, all that stuff. We're going to sort it out today. When you guys are leveling, you guys have lots of time. If you haven't played beta, we gave out around... we gave out about 100 keys, thanks to Zaram and a bunch of other streamers did as well. If you didn't get a chance to play beta, it sucks, but not the end of the world. We gave a lot of feedback. We discovered a lot of bugs during testing. But enjoy it. Number one, you have to enjoy it. A lot of those speed levelers, they can level 90 to 100 in 4 or 5 hours. They know that, the most efficient route, which way to go, get, the XP pots, treasures, all that stuff, and they'll be done in 5 hours. The average leveling time should take you between 10 and 12 hours. That's if you take your time, enjoy yourself, enjoy the quests, guys, because it's a whole new world out there. Bottom line, Blizzard spent a lot of time, effort, passion, and love in those quests and the designs. Awesome new cinematics. I've actually not seen any of the cinematics. That's one thing I have not spoiled for myself. They were posted on MMOChamp a while ago, and, Warcraft released them, but I have not seen any of the cinematics yet. So that'll be my surprise for me. I won't be skipping them. There is more than enough time for the average raider, which you guys are, to level up, gear up before raiding starts. And raiding does start December 2nd. December 2nd, High Maul, Normal, and Heroic will be unlocked. And December 9th will be LFR and Mythic and all that other fun stuff. So again, expansion unlocks this Wednesday or Thursday morning. Thursday morning, 3 a.m. Eastern, which is midnight Pacific, 12 o'clock, Wednesday, Thursday morning. So the marathon, I mean, if you decide the marathon level, which takes about 10-12 hours, the advantage is, I mean, you may be able to beat a lot of people to 100. Now, if you're on a high pop server like mine, I mean, Stormage is huge. Stormage, there's a ton of people. You know, how many people? Well, let's fly over here and find out. Let's fly down here, see how many people are doing some questing. I mean, the expansion doesn't come out for a couple days. People are still already here doing quests, getting ready to go. Thanks for the subs. Those of you, one of you that subbed, Lord Sukram, thank you for subbing, and Chlamydius, whatever your name was, thanks for subbing and ruining my intro, you jerk. Thank you for the support. Okay, again, I mean, it's a high pop server. There will be queues. It's going to suck to log in. My suggestion would be not to log in, but keep your character logged in the entire time. Again, I mean, there's people ready here, ready to go. It's still, you know what, 28 hours until Warlords of Draenor releases. Still quite a bit of time. People are sort of ready to go. So, in terms of like self-prep for you guys, before we get into, you know, the whole nitty-gritty of garrisons and leveling, that kind of stuff, I plan to do like a 24-hour stream or until ever, you know, I fall asleep. The last times I've leveled as well in Warcraft, you know, I do the midnight release thing. I play it throughout the night. Maybe I take a quick 1-hour nap or something, or a 50-minute nap, and then I get back to it. But it is important to really eat something healthy. You know, nuts, dried fruits, whatever. Juices are really good for you. Things you sort of want to avoid are those energy drinks, chips, Doritos, Mountain Dew, Conrad, all those things. Why? I mean, it'll get you that high, but you're going to crash so hard, and you're going to feel like shit. You will feel like crap. So definitely recommend nuts, fruits, juices. I mean, coffee, if you really need to. You can just keep chugging those coffees, like, you know, get an IV right in your thing there. So, your whatever, your veins, and you'll be totally fine. Now, and as some of you guys will get this joke here, if you do choose amphetamines, please stay hydrated. For those of you that don't know, some of these other top-rating guilds, their guild leader said to their raiders, hey, you know, we're going to be doing this world first push, I mean, you know, like US whatever first push, and if you guys are using amphetamines to keep yourselves awake and get your, you know, keep the energy through the grind, make sure you guys hydrate. He was keep, you know, thinking of himself there. Drink water, eat fruits, veggies, and nuts. There you go, fruits, veggies, and nuts, exactly. I mean, you got to eat healthy, you know, things that'll give you enough energy and will not make you crash. Bananas are fantastic, great potassium intake. Just eat healthy, guys. Eat healthy if you're going to be doing this entire, you know, this entire marathon leveling throughout the night, and that's totally fine. Don't stay up too late. You know, take breaks as needed, bio breaks, whatever. Do jumping jacks. I mean, splash some water in your face if you get tired. If you want to keep going through the entire push, totally doable to do within 10-12 hours, guys, at a fairly average pace. But just don't burn yourselves out. I mean, your own safety and health is obviously more important than, you know, some leveling. Because, you know why? Realm First, you know, Realm First, Paladin, Human, you know, whatever, Blacksmith, have all been removed. There is no race besides, like, bragging rights. You know, unless you're Athene and you want to try to exploit and power level to within 3 hours, it's not a big deal. You know, like, you can remember that, hey, man, 5 years ago when I played Warcraft, I leveled in 3 hours. The expansion. I did so much. Well, you know what? It's gonna cost a lot of other things if you level it that quick. Yeah, all those energy drinks. I drink energy drinks sometimes too, but everything in moderation. It's really bad for your heart. All that other fun stuff. Don't eat chicken McNuggets while you guys are doing that shit. Okay, so moving on to there. Yeah, you're tired and burn yourself out. Splash your water on your face. Perfect. My little notes here. Now, for the first question, where should you log off? So, if you decide to log off right here, and this is the entrance to the portal, this might be a bad idea. I can pretty much guarantee there will be, you know, 1,000 people, depending on what kind of server you're on here, or 15,000 people, pretty much in this area, in this zone. If you guys remember AQ40, yeah, have fun with that. If you guys remember previous expansions where shit has crashed and taken, you know, 5 minutes to talk to an NPC, gonna be the same kind of thing here. So if you're going to log out, try to log out, you know, near Swamp of Sorrows, near somewhere there, so your game doesn't take forever to load, and it doesn't crash. Sorry, another big thing for you guys to do, make sure you turn on your graphics. You know, your graphics right here under System, under Graphics, turn everything to low. It's going to be really, really taxing on your computers, on your graphics cards, everything, when there are so many people in one area. You're going to lag out, your shit's going to crash, your computer will be set on fire, then you have to call server help, and he'll charge you, you know, 2 arms and 4 legs. So, do log out somewhere else. Otherwise, like me, I plan on being here the entire time. Storm Rage, I mean, is the most highly populated realm in the game. There's going to be huge queues all throughout, you know, the first couple of weeks of Draenor, and definitely through raiding. Do you think it's possible to get through 9100 in one sitting without instant queues? Yes. So like I said, it's going to take around 10 to 12 hours, Devil 301, to level from, I mean, in one sitting. I mean, even if multiple sittings, I'm going to be doing it in one sitting for sure. Based off the beta leveling that we did, 10 to 12 hours, no problem. You could do it in less if you really, really wanted to. Did they remove the server first achievement, or was that just a rumor? They did. And Draenor, that's exactly what I said earlier. They did remove those achievements. So, I mean, do log out in Swamp of Sorrows. Don't log out here. Now, one thing they did really, really well is this right here. Do you guys remember Timeless Isle? You guys remember Timeless Isle? Not Timeless Isle. Isle of Thunder. Isle of Thunder, where you have those little domes and you can't mount. Fantastic thing here, too. Because you know those stupid jerks that have those giant damn tundra mammoths that just, you know, I don't have a tundra mammoth either, but those giant jerks that would have tundra mammoths, and they stand right on the damn NPC. Well, guess what? There's a little no-go zone right here. There's also a little, you know, barrier. You can't have those jerks, you know, on top of the NPC. It's not going to happen. Blizzard did this very, very well, and I'm so happy, finally, that they've learned after, you know, 9.5 years. They did it, you know, years ago in AQ40, for those of you who don't remember the Encourage turn-in weapons or whatever. They did it again, which is fantastic. So, there's actually a little barrier. You can't block the NPC. People can talk to him just fine. That being said, there is a little macro here that you may want to use, and I'm going to pop it here in chat for you guys. This little macro, hopefully it works. Let's see here. Hopefully that macro works for you guys. But you can use that. It'll target him right away, and it'll click his quest, and then you'll be able to zone in. Now, how it starts is you'll get the quest, you'll zone in, do the Tanan Jungle intro quest line, which takes, you know, I don't know, half an hour. I can't remember how long it took during beta. But it is fairly straightforward, and the rest of Tanan Jungle is locked, which will be unlocked at a later time whenever they're done with it. I mean, it's fantastic. Like, honestly, it's one of the best things they've done for leveling. Because if you guys remember, in Mists of Pandaria, there was such a friggin' block with the Admiral NPC. People could not, you know, get the quest or whatever. It took 5 minutes to get to it. Then getting to the sky ship, and then, you know, dealing with those damn choppers, which crashed everything. It was terrible. Freezing Hero, thanks for subbing, much appreciated. Cheers to you from my Diablo mug, my brand new Diablo mug. Alright. Yeah, so the target Archmage Khadgar macro works. It's still going to be fine, though. I mean, even if you have a million people sort of right here, it'll be totally okay, because they can't block Khadgar. Khadgar's a little bit bigger. He's got a bit of an Atiesh here. I can't remember what they said during BlizzCon about his Atiesh, but yeah, it should be really easy to talk to. Just get in range of him, talk to him, and then go run out there. There'll be a bit of a delay, but everyone will get there in time. There is some phasing in, I believe, in Tanan Jungle, as well as Shadowmoon Valley, for you Alliance people, in Frostfire Ridge for you damn Hordes, whatever. I mean, it wasn't terrible disaster of Oroku. It was really shitty that they didn't think about the choppers and how they would affect everything, and everybody was sort of blocked. No, thank you for the gold. Everybody was sort of blocked into the the Jade, whatever. The Jade Forest, yes, Jade Forest, and people couldn't continue, so they had to sort of grind dungeons, skip the whole thing, and then move on to Vale and whatever in Valley. I want that mug. You can't have it. I only bought one. I bought another for Cody, but he got a Murloc mug. What was bad? Tell me. Do tell me, Freezing Hero. Okay, Chloe, no mooing. Move somewhere else. Okay. So the macro will help you out here. Target Khadgar. I mean, somebody else can look there and chat if it didn't work for me. Bruceable! Thanks for subbing, Bruceable. Much appreciated. Welcome back. You know, the postcard's still on the way. It's probably on the back of some Sherpas in Nepal at this point. But thanks for subbing again. Thanks again. I mean, you're going to have a ton of lag. Yeah, I mean, it crashed everything. It non-stop crashes. Now, the next thing, dailies. Dailies are the next big contention point here, and people have been asking about them all the time. Are dailies worth it? The answer is yes and no. So what is the point of these dailies? The dailies is there to give, you know, a leg up on the competition, right? So when you guys are leveling, it doesn't matter whether you do dailies or not. You just want to stay ahead of the curve, ahead of that massive pack that massive pack of zombies and lemmings, which is your fellow, you know, players on your realm or whatever. You want to stay ahead of them, because if you're leveling with them, it's frustrating as all hell, because there's nothing to kill, you know, everything's dead, it's just annoying, and people are competing for spawns, competing for whatever. Yeah, Blizzard's had done better over the, you know, the past few years in order, in terms of, you know, making things spawn faster, based off how many people are killing things, which is good, but being ahead of the pack is really, really important. Now, dailies. Dailies will not reset. Okay, first of all, there's been some misinformation as to whether dailies will reset or not. Some will. Most of them will not. Like the Calaxy, the Shadowpan dailies, the Isle of Thunder dailies will not reset. All of those will continue to be in your quest log. Where's my quest log? Yeah, they will remain to be in your quest log here, ready to be turned in. Battle Pets, no. These ones right here that I've turned in. So I've got the Calaxy dailies ready to go. I'll be doing the Town Long Steps and Isle of Thunder ones later on. Is it necessary? Not really. Now, when you do daily quests, only 22, because you'll need 3 quests to do the Tannan Jungle intro. You don't want to get any more than 22 quests. It's not worth it at all. Hey there, Navarre. Hello. Hello, everybody else. So, dailies are good and not. Now, the argument for dailies is they'll get you ahead of the curve, right? Well, here's the thing. If I log out, you know, let's say in Pandaria here, I turn in my quests, you know, I go to Calaxy, then Town Long, and then Isle of Thunder, then I'm going to hearth over to Stormwind, whatever, and fly down to the portal, get the quest, and go in there. You might be behind the pack in terms of leveling. You'll have more experience in them, but you'll be behind the pack. That's the downside. You want to potentially get in there as quick as you can. Now, the other way, or the more efficient way to get your dailies turned in is start leveling right away. Get to your garrison, so complete the Tannan Jungle intro quest line, which starts in Draenor again, just past the portal. Complete that quest line, go to your garrison, and again, Shadowmoon Valley, your garrison is right about here, I believe. I think it was right here, because it goes right around this mountain. So it should be right about here. And then once you have your garrison, you'll get a separate garrison hearthstone. So this is my current hearthstone, my Dark Portal. I have a TCG hearthstone here. Now, you'll use your regular Hearthstone, go turn in your quests all the way, you know, in Pandaria. Then you'll use your Garrison Hearthstone to go back. You'll have that XP boost, and then you'll continue leveling. Okay, that is really the more efficient way to do it. That being said, the argument against these dailies, I mean, if you want to get ahead of everybody, I think the Consata said this. You don't, or somebody else said you don't need to do dailies. You really shouldn't leave the first zone, Shadowmoon Valley or Frostfire Ridge, until your garrison's level 2. So at level 92, 93, and then once you complete Shadowmoon Valley or Frostfire Ridge, you get your level 2 garrison. That level 2 garrison is vitally important. There's such a focus on garrisons in this next expansion that they're such an integral part of your leveling experience. Sure, you could go 90 to 100 without touching garrison. You could, but you'll be missing out so much. You'll be really hurting yourself if you don't use garrisons. And garrisons are just in everything. In your leveling experience, I mean, you can just do dungeons the entire time and skip it, but you'll be really, really hurting yourselves in terms of content and legendary questline and all that other stuff. So the argument's been made that really getting ahead of quest lines and getting ahead of people is more important than a little bit of extra experience. Next point of contention here. People want to level quickly. Let me see if there's any questions about dailies. Are people hoarding dailies for Draenor? Am I missing something? They don't get erased. Like, dailies don't reset, guys. Yeah, dailies don't reset. They stay in your quest log, whatever, right? You just keep them in there. See, Crowbot, you only want 22 dailies. Only 22 dailies. Well, I guess you can turn them all in. If you want to have 24, 25 dailies, and Crowbot wants to turn them all in first, then go to the portal, that's doable as well. The past expansion, so Mists of Pandaria had a bit of an issue. There was a bug that gave dailies 0 experience. So I had, you know, all these dailies ready to go, I think from Cataclysm, maybe it was, and nobody was getting any experience. So they had to hotfix it a couple hours later, and then they gave the experience. Remember that?
Yeah, but I didn't get any because I'd already done it.
Yeah, because I just turned them like, you know what, it's probably a bug, whatever, I'm just going to turn all the quests anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so if Crowbot, for example, wants to do 24, he's going to have to turn them in first, then go to the burning, the dark portal here. It's up to you guys. I mean, it's up to you guys. I'm not doing 10. Yeah, I mean, whatever works. It's going to give you an XP bonus, but at the end of the day, you'll still need to level up all the way. You'll still need to want to do your quest lines. So even though you're able to get a bit of an XP bonus, you still want to do all of the zones, you'll want to do all of the outposts, you'll want to do Nagrand, all that stuff to get the achievements, whatever, I mean, if you're an achievement whore, or get those extra followers that you do need. So one way or another, it doesn't matter. Like, I may just, level up the dailies and not do it eventually. It depends on how I'm feeling, what my gut says when I actually get through that dark portal. Next thing here. So, next thing is XP potions. Now, if you guys... Let me see if I have it open here on my tabs. I may or may not. I don't think I do. But essentially, for 100 garrison resources, you get an awesome XP. Get somebody to link it in chat there. You get an XP potion, which increases your experience by a shit ton. You're able to level so much faster with this experience potion. It lasts a couple hours, I think. It's awesome, but the downside is that it costs a lot of garrison resources. And garrison resources are this finite resource for your garrisons, really. And if you use your resources early on for potions, they're really, really hard to get back. You're wasting a lot of precious materials for leveling quicker. There's no real advantage to it unless you're going for some speed leveling record. So the average raider, which is you guys, don't touch experience potions, please. You will do yourself more harm than good by touching these experience potions. Just don't bother. Yeah, the last 1 hour, 20 experience, 100 garrison resources. It's a shit ton of resources. Do not use it, guys. I mean, you'll be able to shorten your leveling time by a lot. I know Elvine's got a couple guides there that does these, whatever. And some of the better leveling guides have these XP potions. Don't worry about them. Garrison resources way, way, way more important than XP things. I mean, at the same time, you're still doing the quest, you're still doing all that stuff, so it's not worth it. Okay. So, moving on to... What's my next note here? Turning daily quests. Now, for those of you that, have done beta, don't care about the storyline, it's too bad. There's a couple mods that can help you. Number one, those auto-turn-in mods. Do I have one here? I might have auto-turn-in... Auto-turn-in... There. So I have auto-turn-in right here. I use this one for turning in the Ravenhold or Syndicate lockboxes for my Insane in the Membrane title. It's easy. Like, you just click it, it auto-turns it in for you. When you have 2 quest rewards, it will not choose a quest reward for you. It'll prompt you to choose a quest reward. But the auto-turn-in mod will save you a lot of time. Again, make sure you have, fully complete quests rather than, like, slowly scrolling quest text. So the auto-turn-in mod is helpful. One other thing for leveling that is fantastic is, there's treasures. You guys remember the treasures from Mists of Pandaria? They're a huge role in Warlords of Draenor as well. So there's lots of maps out there, lots of guides. I know the Elvine guide has these treasures as well. They're all over the place. Like, there's, a dozen treasures at least, all through Shadowmoon Valley. They're a huge XP bonus. If you see a treasure, or another good thing to use is use TomTom and those little waypoint markers. They will mark all the treasures on your map. You can loot the treasure, get the XP bonus, and move on. Sometimes it's gear, though. Sometimes it's garrison resources, so that is also recommended. Do those treasures. And the last big thing, when you guys are questing through these things, get those bonus objectives. You'll see on your maps, and I can't, unfortunately, can't show you guys right now because I'm not in beta either. Beta's down. It's over with. There's bonus objectives. They're on the way to other quest objectives that you're doing. They're in the same area. It'll take you a couple more minutes to get that objective, but they're a huge XP bonus. Definitely do them. No, Ponzi, what's the advantage? There's no real advantage to those XP potions. Who cares if you're level 100 first, right? It doesn't matter. You will need garrison resources to upgrade your buildings, to upgrade your garrison. You'll need a lot of gold, too. 39,000 for all the buildings. Don't let that number scare you for those of you that are poor. But don't use XP potions. That's my recommendation. If you're not a speed leveler, don't worry about it. Enjoy it. Save up those garrison resources for what you will need. What is this map? So, Kansada, do you have a map for us? Is this... Yeah, so here's a map here. Thank you, Kansada, for linking this to us. This is Kansada's map here of all the little treasures. All these little, all these little treasures and stuff. These are where they're located. If you put them in your TomTom, and there's a Weakors or whatever that can do it for you, or maybe not Weakors, but just like whole little things. Treasures, do they show up without an add-on? They do. Well, I can't remember if they do in beta, but you'll see them. You'll see them like just while you're leveling. Let's say you're in a little questing zone, and you'll see like a little satchel on the ground, or you'll see some extra bones. It'll be glowing. So you know how with the new Worlds of Draenor changes, things don't sparkle anymore? And now whenever you hover over things that are actionable, they glow. So when I hover over this NPC, she glows green, right? And if it's a treasure, it'll glow blue. Enemies glow red, as they always have. There, like this. So you will see those treasures. There's a ton of them. I got a few treasures when I leveled, and they helped, you know, they got me free gear, like 650 not 650 items, 630 items, whatever. But it does help you level. There's a lot of treasures. Tom in the face, Adam. Thank you guys. Thanks. I'll have all these resources for you guys afterwards, after the stream, in case you guys want to use them. But there is a ton of resources out there for leveling, depending on how efficient you want to do. I mean, if you want to level in one night, fine. If you want to level over 3 nights, enjoy your time. Maybe you don't want to get treasures. Maybe you want to do all the quests. Personally, I will eventually do all the quests, but I want to be as efficient as possible. In a sense, I don't want to be just wasting garrison resources, though, on XP pots. Definitely not a speed leveler. Definitely not. You turn off the annoying glowing thing. I think it's awesome, Nelson. I think it's amazing. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Okay, so moving on. Where do we go? Treasures. Again, I mentioned High Pop Realms. Derelex, thank you for subbing. Much appreciated. Diablo Mud Coffee, cheers to you. Spuddy, how many dailies are you going to have? I'm going to have 22. Can you get dailies multiple times over different days? You can. You can then turn them in later on. But again, the argument was made, you know, you can or you don't have to. I mean, they're not necessary for leveling. Unless you guys are a speed leveler, you might just, you know, burn yourselves out doing all that stuff. Won't you be behind in gearing if you take those extra days? Yes and no, Nuktuk. With gearing, you'll have a ton of time. You guys have 2.5 weeks. You have 2.5 weeks to get all the gear you need. Plenty of time. We're going to cover gearing in a little bit, Nuktuk. Give me a second, though, if you have any questions. But if you guys have questions pertaining to the current topic, let me know. Let me know right away. Dailies are strictly for raiders. They're strictly for anybody. Night's night. If you want to do dailies as a, you know, a pet battler, turn in your quests, you know, level earlier, get your garrison done, you know, it's fine. It gives you a boost, right? It gives you a boost. It might slow you down eventually. So on a high pop realm like Storm Rage, one good suggestion would be to pair with somebody in a low pop realm. For example, I know Cody. Cody, where is he? He's not online right now. But I know Cody's in the low pop realm. If he invites me to his realm, even though it's a merged realm with other low pop realms, I might have a better time questing than on my crazy Storm Rage server. Excuse me. That being said, too, try to level as a group. Group leveling or guild leveling is advantageous to you guys. Why? Well, I mean, you're there for 10 hours together, you know, having fun. I mean, it'll be a little bit more exciting than leveling by yourself. Yeah, there's Cody Bladebuster. See, he's on Blade Edge, which is, you know, a really crappy server, no offense. See, look, I'm on a low pop realm already. Look how many people are here. There is nobody here. This is like friggin' middle of Africa right here. There is nobody here on this server. Like, seriously. There is now no competition for me. Storm Rage, they're on their own server. I'm on this guy's server, and everything is free for me to kill. Thank you, Cody. See? And that's one thing you guys can do. So go to those low pop realms, like you guys farm frogs, for example, on Timeless Isle. Go to those low pop realms, use that as an advantage. Number 2, group leveling is advantageous as well, for a number of reasons. Again, it's more fun. You're able to kill things a lot more quickly, a lot more efficiently. Don't worry about, you know, the XP bonus split, that kind of stuff. Now, one other great thing is, I mean, if you have to take a bathroom break, put somebody on follow, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, they're still doing questing. They're going to wait for you, obviously. Number 2, these things right here, these battle standards of coordination. Okay, now they're guild battle standards. I highly encourage you guys to get your guild battle standards. They're like 100 gold, 200 gold, something like that. Within 100 yards, all of your guild members will gain an XP bonus and a rep bonus. Okay, for 15 minutes. Get 5 guildies. You keep that running, you know, for a long-ass time. Especially if you're dropping in certain zones. Now, great suggestion here that was made by Dell last night. Use these battle standards of coordination when you are doing bonus XP objectives. So as you are about to finish a bonus XP objective, throw down a battle standard, finish that last mob, that last dinosaur, whatever you're about to kill. It will grant you that experience bonus. It is a fantastic thing that'll help you out level. So use these. Use them, you know, use them as a group. It'll be a lot easier. We're going to talk about garrisons in a little bit here. NK320PT. We will cover it in a little bit. No, the release is tomorrow, Sarzu. Tomorrow, in about 20-ish hours. 24, 28 hours. I can do the same thing on release if you want. Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome, Cody. We could level together, all three of us. You know, 2 Ashbringers and then Driaz. You know, go with my girlfriend. But no, like, no funny business. Because only one guy. Just saying. Okay. So moving on. If you guys have questions regarding, you know, what's going on, and I'll go back and cover everything else afterwards, totally fine. Is it most of Worlds during questing phase? Yes and no. It depends on which zone. I saw quite a few people there hoopy leveling with me. In Shadow Moon Valley, much of it is not phased. Again, it depends on which section. During the later phases of Shadow Moon Valley, yeah, that's phased. The big battle of Karabor, spoiler alert, that is phased, for example. Some other places like Shatrath, that is phase 2. It depends on where you are. When is it live? Perfect. First quest is at the King or the Portal. It's right here. So the first quest will be right here at Khadgar. Again, I mentioned that there is a little barrier that you guys can't, you know, troll everybody else with your giant-ass mounts. You can't even mount up here. Look, ground mounts are not allowed here. Ground mounts are allowed here, but there's a big invisible wall for your stupid douchey mounts to not be. See, look, it dismounts me right away. And I can't be here. I can't block the NPC. Also use, use those macros to help you click Khadgar. So we're going to cover all those things as well. Finish the zones are going next one to ASP. Either way, it doesn't matter. Guys, it's not a race. It's not a race. There is no more server first achievement, no more, you know, first paladin to 90 or 100, no more, you know, first human to 90 or 100, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Enjoy your leveling. This is a game. You're spending $15 a month to play the game. Who cares if you get first or second or third or fourth or fifth? It doesn't matter. You know, you're the first one to go to sleep then. Great. Thank you, BC Spirit, for subbing. Much appreciated. Cheers. Cheers to you as well. So don't worry about it, guys. Unless you're a speed leveler, it's totally fine. Again, the average time will be between 10 and 12 hours to slowly level your way up. But enjoy it. Enjoy all the cinematics. I haven't seen them all, so that's one thing that I'm going to do. Yeah, again, banners are fantastic, Crowbot. You know, banners will be amazing. And go with the guild group, right? I can't remember Cody if it worked like that. Okay, moving on. Heirlooms. Okay, no. Next thing. Questing. Now, when you guys do quests, for those of you that don't know, when you do quests, they will give you the loot appropriate kind of spec. Because, you know, what's awesome about Worlds of Draenor is when you change specs, it'll change the gear based off, you know, intellect, haste, whatever. So, right now I'm in my Retribution spec, which I plan to level. If I were to switch to my Holy spec, that's not going to happen right now. I guess I should do my Holy spec. So right now this gear is Strength, Stamina, whatever. If this was Worlds of Draenor gear, this would change to Intellect, Stamina, Crit, Haste. So it changes right away. So when you're leveling and you're looking for a certain spec of loot, make sure your loot spec down here is chosen correctly. Your loot spec. Mine's chosen for Ret because I plan to level Ret. When I start doing dungeons, it's going to go back to Holy. Or when I start doing my follower missions, it'll go back to Holy. So, do choose that loot spec appropriately. Number two, what else? I mean, some things are not switchable, and one of those things are your trinkets, your necks, your some of your weapons, and what? Amulets. Amulets, rings, trinkets are not switchable, so they will be a spirit, spirit neck, which serves no purpose as a red paladin. So make sure your loot spec is chosen appropriately. What about gems? Don't worry about gems. Gems play such a small role that it's not worth it. I mean, you'll see very few gems these days in Worlds of Draenor, whereas in 5.4 or in Siege of Orgrimmar, everything had gem slots, right? With the next level of stats, things could be Warforged, things could have multi-strike and leech and armor bonus or whatever on them. So don't worry so much about gems and that kind of stuff. He's throwing us off of Realm First, guys. That's right, I'm trying to sabotage all of you guys so I can get Realm First myself. Exactly. Yeah, you know what, 145, I was a little unhappy too. I missed a bunch of Realm First because, I had to do something in real life. I had to drive, my brother, for example, to the train station, and I missed out on Realm First Paladin by 20 minutes because I had to drive him. That lazy bastard of a brother. This matter reminds me of Bill Murray and Meatballs. Okay. Yeah, I mean, hardcore, 4.5 hours. I plan on doing it about 10-12 hours. It's not a big deal. You have 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks to level. 5 hours will not make or break it. I can have my paladin geared in under a week easily, and that's taken my sweet time. Okay, he'll be full heroic dungeon geared in under a week. I can pretty much guarantee it with how many heroic dungeons I will be doing every single day. So, moving on. Heirlooms. Are heirlooms worth it? For those of you, that are new to the stream here or old to the stream, a lot of what I do is I do a lot of dungeon runs. Or raid runs, for example. I will do LFRs with you. I know LFRs are really, really shitty to do. You go into that LFR and people are just terrible. People are, have no idea what to do. People are like you. They're ignorant. They use Nox, for example, as a resource. They have no damn clue. I do LFRs with you guys. I do normal raids with you guys as well. And then with the subs, I do heroic raids and mythic raids. I really teach you guys to become better raiders. And for those of you that have been around this for a while, you've seen, I've seen my guys go from little LFR zeros to LFR heroes to flex raiders, heroic raiders, and eventually mythic raiders. And the ones that have been here with the stream for a while, they've gotten their mythic mounts, they've gotten their mythic BOAs. I've done a number of mythic runs with my subs here. I've shown them how to raid, how to communicate, become better raiders, because that's what I love doing. You guys are the next generation of raiders. Do BOAs matter? Yes and no. BOAs will give you a significant advantage. I mean, not too significant, but for the leveling process, it will be a little bit easier. Here's an example of where BOAs matter or where they don't matter. So here's this example right here. There's a graph. Now, if you guys can see this graph, yes you can. So, your normal BOA, and my normal BOA here, I'll give you guys a couple examples. I've got a couple BOAs here for you guys to see, just as an example. So this is a normal War Mace, used to be called Flex. Okay, a normal War Mace, 556 item level. This one I got from Mythic Garage. 582. Okay, so they start off different levels, or different item levels at level 90. Number 2, as you get up higher level, they will scale. So for example, my mythic one is the red line. It starts at 582, next level goes to 586, then 590, scales up by 4 levels roughly every time. All of the heirlooms, whether you have a one like this, the Hellscream War Mace Normal, or a Mythic run. Thanks, Blazewins, for interrupting me. Thanks for subbing the stream. I do appreciate it. Thanks a ton. Thanks for the support, guys. They will all be 620 regardless. So whether you have a crappy heirloom like this, or a Mythic heirloom because you killed Mythic Grosh and you're in a part of a fantastic raiding guild, they will all be 620. Okay, 620. Well, how does that relate in the grand scheme of things? 630 is heroic dungeon gear. So even this one or this one, they're both going to get replaced by a heroic dungeon weapon, by a blue weapon at the end of the day. It's not a big deal, whether you have one or the other. If you have one now, it's going to help you level. What's going to happen for me, for example, and if you guys want to see this chart, it is right here. There's a chart for that one. Again, all these resources I will have for you guys on our forums, as well as the blog later on. Every single one of the links that I'm showing you guys. So, here's an example. My red set, I have a 588 War Sword, right? I have a 588 War Sword right here, and I've got a Decapitator that has heroic difficulty. I don't have a mythic one. So if I look at that chart again, what's this going to tell me? That when does my heroic, which is blue, beat out my my 588? Well, right here. At what level is that? At level 94, I will replace my 588 Greatsword with a heroic Decapitator. That's it. And then I will use my Decapitator from now on because this one stays at 588, and this one will continue to scale as I level. So that's how it's going to help me level. That's it. I mean, it's a couple item levels. It's, it's more damage. It will help out, level 99 and stuff, but end of the day, not a big deal if you guys don't have, the best heirloom or whatever. What else? What questions am I missing here? Speaking of me, I think I did it like 1 hour ago. Congrats, Tampa. Congrats on the kill. just under the gun there, Tampa. Congrats on your kill. Fantastic. Okay. So moving on to the next section here. So heirlooms, they're good. We can talk about professions as well. Now, people have been asking about what professions are best for Warlords of Draenor. There are some that are really good, some that are, okay, and some that are, just alright. For those of you that don't know, in Warlords of Draenor, as of 6.0, those profession bonuses that you have don't mean a huge deal. I mean, they've sort of been removed from a rating standpoint. As a blacksmith, I no longer get sockets on my gloves and my bracers. No longer does that happen. As you know, as a jewel crafter, you don't get that extra gem bonus. As an enchanter, you don't get the rings anymore, right? The ring enchants anymore. As a leatherworker, you don't get those extra bonuses for rating that were profession specific. That being said, though, there's a couple of really, really good professions and some, you know, really not so great ones. It depends on your class, ultimately. You can be, you know, for me, though, like as a paladin, let's say a warrior, a plate wearer, some of the best professions would be alchemy and blacksmithing. They're really, really good professions. Alchemy is going to be fairly stronger, I would say stronger than most of the other professions, for rating. And that's for a number of different reasons we'll cover in a sec here. Sparty, will there be anything special when the gates open at midnight, or can I get to sleep and not worry about it? No, there won't be anything special. If you've done this sort of quest line here, go to sleep, man. It's totally fine. So I can, you know, beat you when I level. And, you know, get ahead of the pack. It's totally fine, though. I mean, there won't be a special event. It'll be, you know, a switch hits, and you'll be able to get a quest from this guy, and then go zone in. And that's it. Don't worry about it. What else am I missing? Maryland wasn't upgraded. Okay, perfect. So, I lost my train of thought. Professions, yes, professions. Alchemy is great because why? Because it has 2-hour flasks. With alchemy, I can also get greater flasks rather than, you know, the regular flasks. Chloe, go away. Go away, Chloe. Let me pull it up here. I have a Wowhead link for you guys in terms of what each profession can do. There's alchemy. Now, let's pull up this Wowhead link here. So, Wowhead has a number of great guides. Again, I'll have all these links for you guys later on all the professions, all the profession changes, things like that. There's an in-depth guide as well for those of you that have, you know, the building and garrisons or the ones that don't. This one here, they have Greater Draenic Flasks, which are 250 to a stat. Regular Draenic Flasks are 200. It's a BOP item for Greater Draenic Flasks. So I can craft my own flasks. I could, you know, sell them, whatever. But the better flasks will come from alchemy. It's 50 more to a stat from these. No, it still should still be 2-hour flasks. I mean, it didn't work in beta, but I'm pretty sure it should be 2-hour ones. You don't get the alchemy bonus anymore. So, I mean, what it used to be was you would have the mixology, an increased effect, and drinking the elixir would, you know, would give you that extra stats. That's no longer effective. I believe you still get the 2-hour effect to it right now.
Nope. 8.
How's gear going to be? Is Plate Gear going to have all the stats on it and change on which spec you are? Yes, Big Bad Hoss. Plate Gear will do exactly that. Whether you're a Holy Paladin or a tank or a, you know, a DPS warrior, it'll change based off your spec, but relatively close. What is the guide to gear? Yeah, there's a couple of different little spreadsheets out here as well. Freezing here just linked this one. So this shows you, I mean, it's really confusing to sort of look at, but this shows you what's crafted, what comes from High Mall, you know, what's going on here exactly in terms of crafted stuff. With crafted gear, though, you should know this, that you can only wear 3 pieces of crafted gear at one time. Only 3 pieces of crafted gear. So you can't have, you know, you can't have all this money, you know, you can't have Elvine's money, his Scrooge McDuck bank, and buy all the crafted gear to wear, because, you know, you have money, why not use it? It does limit you to 3 pieces. Now, that should include the tailoring cloak, the leatherworking cloaks, as well as the engineering helms. Those things should be included. In beta, it wasn't. It allowed a 4th item. It did not include those. But we were told it was a bug. We'll see what happens, though, so don't expect it. Yeah, kind of like D3 leveling. Yeah, exactly like that. I kind of linked that. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thanks for the link there. Yeah, this is one of the little spreadsheets here in terms of what you can get, where it's from 630, 640 item levels. A bit of a early gearing breakdown for you guys. Some things are crafted. For example, for blacksmithing, you can see up top left here, I can create an intellect shield and an intellect one-hand axe. The last time I used a one-hand intellect axe was Firelands. Yeah, it was Firelands. So you can see what's crafted, what's not. Blacksmithing, again, a lot of strength stuff. Inscription give you, you know, intellect stuff. Tailoring gives you int cloak, agility, strength cloak. So either ones are totally fine. Meeting Elvine at BlizzCon, he's so cute, I just want to adopt him. He's you know, he's a good-looking little Asian kid. I like him. He's not a kid, he's Elvine. So, he's a good guy, I like him. Okay, moving on to next section here. So, blacksmithing is great because it allows you to craft and upgrade items. Now, I'm sort of going to go back and forth here. You can craft items if you don't have the profession. For example, if I were to have 2 gathering professions like mining and herbalism, I can still craft blacksmithing, I can still craft some flask, I can still craft, some leatherworking, some tailoring items, depending on which little buildings I get. And we're going to cover these buildings in a little while. These little small buildings right here. These small buildings. We'll cover this in a little while. If you have these buildings, you can still create all those things without having the profession. So then you might ask me, what's the whole point of having the profession if I can craft everything else? You can't craft everything else. You technically can't. It depends on the profession, but you can't craft everything. For example, if I'm a blacksmith and I get the forge here on the right side, I'm able to get work orders more quickly, and I'm able to upgrade my gear. Profession only, I'm able to upgrade my armor. So you craft that epic, 630, 640 armor, then you're able to upgrade it with enough, enough stuff, enough savage bloods and crystals or whatever else you need for it. So there are some profession-specific bonuses to having that profession and the building. Should I drop my engineering since it's trash now and go for jewel crafting to craft trinkets? Engineering's pretty fun though. Engineering has some really cool things. Rating specific, maybe. You do get the engineered helm though. The engineering helm you can totally get out of it. I mean, even if blacksmithing wasn't that great, I still wouldn't drop it because I have so many rare recipes from vanilla NBC that it's not really worth it to get rid of it. And I mean, Talwar makes a good point here in chat. Engineering isn't amazing because, one of the gearing things we're going to talk about is in Molten Core, you guys will be able to get a Molten Core helm. So it doesn't matter. November 23rd, I believe it is, there's the anniversary of the 10-year anniversary of Warcraft. You'll be able to do Molten Core, get a 640 helm anyway. So we're going to cover that when we go cover gearing in a second here. Don't have to bother with professions. I mean, unless you really love grinding and gathering stuff, you don't need to bother with gathering professions so much. Here's an example. You will have your own mine for ore in your garrison. You don't have to be a miner. You can mine your own ore. So as a blacksmith, I go into my mine, I go mine some stuff, and then it turns into a work order. I'm able to smelt it into true steel. I don't need to be a miner for it. Same thing with herbalism. I have my own little herb garden where I can pick the flowers, pick the daisies, daffodils, the Mary Jane, whatever, and then roll them into little potions. So you don't need to have gathering professions unless you really like leveling and doing that kind of stuff. Personally, I will never have a gathering profession. It's not worth it for me. See, I mean, Darnath, he loves to grind, for example. He will grind the crap out of everything. Fishing, herbs, or whatever. And it's totally fine. Do I have to level professions for raiding? That's what I have to know. You don't have to. You definitely don't have to. I mean, it's advantageous. It'll help you. I mean, if you have some really crappy luck with getting gear in normal Heimal or LFR or Rogue Dungeons, it's going to help you a lot, but it's not necessary. As a raider, you should be doing everything you possibly can. That's different expectations of raiders, though. My guild, I expect them to do every single thing they can to contribute to the raid team. Whereas if you're in a more casual guild, you do whatever the hell you want. I mean, you help out, but you're not going to, spend 50,000 gold, and that's just an arbitrary number there, to re-level a profession to, to get a couple stat points. It's just not worth it. So, moving on. Moving on to the garrison's outposts and all that other stuff. Let me see, try to get some, where's Moonfax here? Okay, so I'm going to do a couple things. You probably put Moonfax. Now, you know what? I'm just going to keep talking here and flying around. Never mind. Okay. We're talking a little bit about outposts. No. So as you guys level, before we get into garrisons, as you guys level, there will be these outposts. So there are multiple outposts set up, and there's a great guide here. Now, a lot of you guys have this guide already. This is the MMO Champ guide. It shows you a number of different outposts as you are leveling. Where are my little outposts here? Missions, followers, outposts. Perfect. So, the first outpost that you'll get is in, what is that zone called again? Sorry. Gorkrund, yes. Gorkrund is the first outpost that you guys will get. I sort of skipped this zone when I was leveling. I didn't do much of it because I did most of my leveling through dungeons anyway. So you'll complete Shadowmoon Valley first as Alliance. Glory to the Alliance. You'll complete Shadowmoon Valley, finish off your level 2 garrison, then go to Gorkrund. It's a bit of a jungly kind of place. You know, there's lots of wild animals and stuff. Lots of bonus objectives here. There's a ton. So make sure you're really using them as much as you can. So you'll get your first one. Now there's two different outposts you can get. One is a sparring arena, and one is a lumber yard. Personally, I want to get the lumber yard. Each of them have little bonuses here. If you guys scroll down to the guide here, you can sort of see what I'm talking about, or what I'm sort of reading through. The lumber yard is one thing. It allows you to click on vines, summon a shredder to cut them. The shredder is also a little helper that you can control to to charge into stuff, set things on fire, cut down trees, cut down some night elves, whatever. So either one works. Also gives you, the advantage of a follower, and followers are needed for garrisons. Followers are an integral part of these garrisons. So whenever you guys go through your little zones here, you'll start off with Gorkrund again, then you'll go into Talador. That's where I really got my next stuff. You can choose the Arcane Sanctum or the Arsenal. I chose the Arsenal because it is amazing. Every 3.5 or so minutes, you're able to throw down this massive assault, just non-stop missiles coming down. You pick up a lot of mobs, you bring them together, you choose your little assault, you kill everything, you nuke it. You nuke it from orbit, just to be sure. So the Arsenal's great there. Some contention here, some controversy on whether you guys should choose the Spires of Iraq outpost or the the brewery, what is it? Yeah, the Smuggler's Tavern, or the brewery. Now, the brewery gives you a 20% XP bonus in Spires of Iraq. In this bottom zone right here, on the left side, the Lumberyard OP. It gives you 20% bonus. That's great, especially if you're leveling. Excuse me. If you're leveling, that's fantastic. You'll be able to get through Spires so much more quickly with that bonus. It gives you a little teleport to your brewer every 5 minutes, but it is that 20% bonus to experience. Smuggler's Tavern, pretty cool though. It gives the ability to smuggling run here. We're going to load this up. There we go. Now it allows you to choose Honest Jim as a vendor, and he has a couple cool things. Where is he? Damn it, Honest Jim's. Damn it, where are you? So Honest Jim. A little thing here a little while ago. Anyway, he allows you to pick up a couple different... there's tons of guides on Wowhead. Wowhead is a fantastic resource for these things. Smuggling run, perfect. So you're able to rarely buy... toys, a bag, 28 slot bag for 2,200 gold if you have a lot of money. Creative stolen resources. Now, this is actually really good. This is probably the reason I'm going to pick up the smuggling run for the garrison resources. Every 10 minutes, you summon this dude while you're leveling for a little, Honest Jim, the guy here, or the Horde version, which is like Smuggler Jerry or something. Oh, there he goes. Lenny the Skinny Lead Pockets. Okay. So you can get a level 99 follower, first of all. You're able to get a toy. Great for those of you that play with toys, ladies. Scavenger's eyepiece, fine. These are sort of interesting but rare spawning items on that vendor. There's the Creative Stolen Resources. So this might have roughly 100 garrison resources, which will really, really help you out. So I may go with Smuggling Run for the extra garrison resources. I don't really care if I level, If it saves me half an hour, big deal. Not a huge deal. I'd much prefer to spend extra half an hour for a chance at garrison resources. Any feedback on that? For those of you that have leveled in beta, what do you guys think here? Are you guys going to choose Smuggling Run, or will you choose the brewery for the passive XP bonus? It's up to you, ultimately. A couple other things that he sells, all damage you deal cause target to bleed, more haste, more movement speed. That's pretty helpful as well for an hour. Increases damage and healing by 20%. That's going to help you level more quickly as well. Kill things more efficiently, right? But you'll get through Spires of Iraq fairly quickly. Thanks, Blazewinds. Thanks a lot. Brewery, Flamata Spires. See, I guess it's, maybe I'm choosing the wrong thing, but I really want those garrison resources. It's 20% XP bonus. But the argument can be made, though, yeah, you know what, I get the XP bonus, I level ahead of the pack even more quickly, or more efficiently, right? You want to get out of Spires as quick as possible, then go on to Nagrand after that, right? So the leveling process for you guys is Shadowmoon Valley, Gorkrund, Talador, Spires of Iraq, and by halfway through Nagrand, you will be level 100. Pretty much guaranteed at that point you'll be level 100. You don't even have to complete the entire damn zone. What else here? My plans are to get the XP for leveling, then pay the gold to change the Smuggler's Run at 100. That's what they want you to do as well. So, and that's a good point there. You can change your outposts. If you have the money, and not everybody does, you can get the XP bonus, then change it on afterwards. So once I get to level 100, I change outposts for 10,000 gold. And that way I can still deal with smuggling run, which is really probably the better way to go. Much, much better way to go. And yeah, you can destroy buildings after you've built them, but they are just outposts. They're not, you know, garrisons. They're just out in the, you know, spires of Iraq somewhere. Talador has one right here for the Alliance one. It depends. But really destroying your buildings is the better way. I totally forgot about destroying buildings. Yeah, that's the better way to do it. Big Bad House, ask me that question later. I can cover that one later on. Thunder, because leveling is so fast, plus only spend half a level in that zone. Yeah, it was really quick there anyway. Or use 10k on crafting mats for materials. It depends on your gold. Like, if you only have 50,000 gold, it'll be, you know, a little bit more problematic for you. Whereas if you have, you know, 200,000 gold, it's an easy switch. You level quickly, switch it over. I really want those garrison resources to really not bottleneck me once I'm leveling my garrison, because that'll be the biggest hurdle for you guys. Not gold, it'll be garrison resources. Which is why I tell you guys not to choose the XP potions. Please, for the love of God, do not choose XP potions. Other streamers disagree with me, and that's okay. But you're spending so many garrison resources, 100 for this damn potion that lasts an hour. You can level, you know, a little bit more quickly, but they're so much harder to obtain. Which, when we talk about garrisons and the ideal garrison placement, or the ideal garrison buildings for your class, for your role as a raider or an alt, they're really hard to come by. And you don't want to sort of cockblock yourself where you're trying to get your garrison to level 3 and get all the buildings, but now you don't have enough resources because you spent them all on potions. Well, now you're screwed for a couple days. That's really how it's going to end up. Don't use XP potions. Please don't. Is it better to finish off a whole zone and move on, or just go to the next zone when you can meet the next level requirement? Either way works, Bert. You can do either one. It depends on factors like if there's a large amount of people near you. So let's say I'm back on Storm Rage here. Thanks, Cody. I'm back on Storm Rage, and there's a ton of people. Should port me here in a second there. I'm back on Storm Rage now, and there's a ton of people nearby. I can sort of get past the competition, ignore the rest of the quest line. Doesn't matter. But it's something like Shadow Moon Valley, you really do need to finish the rest of the quests. Also, finishing the entire zone will grant you those followers from the appropriate quest lines. So it's good and bad. It's totally, you know, a judgment call on your part, guys. Totally on your part. What is the overall use of garrisons going to be? Why are resources so important? And what role are they going to play? So garrisons are part of the living experience, part of raiding, part of doing your pet battles, part of dungeons. I'll explain garrisons in a second here. So again, outposts, decide which one you're going to do. So one thing you guys can do, as part of your Warlords of Draenor prep, decide which of these things you'll be going with. Here's the Warlords of Draenor Outpost guide. Read them. You know, there's a lot of guides here on the right side as well. But decide what you guys want to do. You know, have that ready instead of like sort of, you know, thinking there for 10 minutes. Okay, well, if I choose this, decide now. Decide now. Talk about it. You know, there in stream chat. Talk about it on the forums. Register on our forums, and decide what you're going to do. I'm probably going to go smuggling run. I may go back and forth. But those garrison resources are really, really, you know, really appealing. That being said, though, they may never spawn on the vendor. They may not spawn the entire time that I have them. Because it is a random, limited item. It's not always going to be there. It's just random, like Paris or Hilton Paris, whatever's bag, right? It was a limited amount back in Shatrath. Can you wait to build things until level 100? Yes, you can. But it's not recommended. You definitely want to take advantage of work orders on the way to level 100. How do you get to Warlords' starting quest? It's right here. So Khadgar will give you the starting quest to get into Warlords. Right here in front of the portal. Once midnight hits Pacific, he'll give you a quest. You go through the portal and you start your quest line. You can go earlier through our video here, and you can see exactly what I mean.